Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, November 28, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. The inner path of healing you is the only way to discover total freedom. Explore what it's like to choose to heal yourself everywhere you go and whomever you are with. This is a commitment. It's up to each of us to decide to make the commitment to ourselves and the commitment to be with you today and find inner peace with what you cannot. This is your special sacred healing day. Wherever you go today, pretend that you are continuously merging with this loving energy and healing experience. Stay connected throughout the day by saying, I am whole, healed, and complete. I am whole, healed, and complete. Focus on receiving the most nourishing, peaceful, and healing energy you can possibly fathom. Do not delude yourself by imagining your source to be some God outside you. Your source is within yourself. Give yourself up to it. Seek the source within. Merge with it. Ramon Rishi. We live in a world that ignores the fact that the supreme divine of loving intelligence lives within us. Lives within us. We've been programmed to believe we are spiritually disconnected and must fix our broken selves to feel whole and reconnected again. Now, we don't realize it. Yet we are just used to feeling spiritually numb. We have been plagued every day of our lives by an overly materialistic society, which is constantly seducing us with its glorified billion-dollar hypnotic media programming. We have contracted a deep case of spiritual amnesia and have forgotten how to relax into our spiritual essence and find our own intimate connection with the divine. This everyday ignorance of our spiritual nature is the greatest lie mankind is living today, by far the greatest lie. It is the cause of every moment of suffering each human being is currently enduring. Now, one may think this spiritual drought was created by mankind coincidentally and is not part of the grand divine design. Nothing is by coincidence or without purpose in this universe. This blind ignorance is within us all on purpose, so that we move more passionately towards a state of awakening. These intense levels of disconnection only drive us deeper inside ourselves to find our own soul. This lifetime we have is meant to be a deeply enlightening experience. Is there anything more important than knowing how to access your own direct personal connection to an all-powerful, deeply eternal loving source of highly intelligent creative energy that has the magical power to manifest anything your heart desires? There is nothing more vital to finding happiness in life, in this life, than knowing one's spiritual connection and nothing more exciting than a proven way to access it, which works every single time. No matter how ridiculously stuck any of us may feel about our financial situations, relationships, health, sex life, and future, there is always a way to reach freedom. If you wish to gain a greater spiritual perspective in this life, make the choice today to clarify your personal relationship with the divine. You can see just how far you've come on your spiritual journey by taking the risk to answer these challenging questions. What is stopping you from always being in communion with God? What is it? These are profound questions to ask oneself. What is stopping you from always being in communion with God? What exactly is your relationship with God like? What exactly is your relationship with God like? What does it feel like when you are having a truly intimate connection with God? What does it feel like when you are having a truly intimate connection with God? How often do you recognize and connect with the divine aspects of yourself? How is your life different when living with this connection versus without it? What does it feel like when you don't have it? You're not living with it. You're not connecting with the God. The longer we sit with these questions and feel into our answers, the deeper we will dig into our souls and eventually discover our spiritual connection. It is never too late to try and connect. Even if you have wasted 75 years of your life on gluttonous, frivolous, mindless activities, feeling perpetually lost in a superficial life. The God source is still here. The door to the divine is always open. God is waiting for you, for each of us to come in. When you take one step towards God, God will take 10 steps towards you. It's a decision. It's a commitment. Make time to redefine your relationship with the divine. And I can guarantee you that your precious time will not be wasted. When I look at my own personal connection with the divine, I always first look into my heart rather than my head. It's automatic now. The head is so full of ideas about what God is and is not. The head misses the real experience, feeling, and quality of godliness when the mind is quiet, still, and single-pointed into the now. We can instantly find that it's deeply alive spiritual feeling inside each and every one of us. The God source already exists within the heart and at the core of our souls. As we relax into this place, a timeless, deeply eternal loving consciousness, energy, sneaks into us and relaxes every cell and fiber of our very beings. I find that God is the most mysterious thing in this universe, perhaps because it is the universe. God exists in everyone and everything. And we aren't talking religion here. Far from it. God exists in everyone and everything, and yes, including those people we may think are deeply disconnected. Have you ever wondered, how can such an amazing presence be so spatially close to us and still be so difficult to feel and see? It's like trying to look into your own eyes without a mirror. You ever tried that? look into your own eyes without a mirror? We look out at life through these tiny black holes in our eyes, taking them for granted and not realizing they exist at all because they are so close to us. When something is too close to us, we are often unaware how precious it truly is. The same applies to noticing God. We are unaware of God until we take a step back and look deeper into our own reflection and the great mirror that is all around us. Realization of the self is realization of God. It is not an experience of God. Rather, it is an understanding that one is God. Ramana Maharishi. A long time ago, over 40 years ago, I realized there was nothing more amazing to experience in this life than a direct relationship with the divine. I discovered through many years of exploration and inquiry, some were dead ends, some weren't, that it was much easier to connect with God by relating to it an isness rather than an it. An isness rather than an it. I find that God is more like a mysterious infinite energy than some fixed, stagnant entity. The great isness is instantly found when we stop and feel into this eternal quality, which feels like we are always and forever here now. The isness is our infinite nature, and this can only be experienced when we are living fully in the now, exploring life from a relaxed, trusting connection. The divine isness is the most accepting, healing, forgiving energy one could imagine. The isness is the source of deep, eternal love, which when even momentarily welcomed, we instantly feel the most profound, ecstatic joy inside our hearts. The knowing that we are eternal, spiritual beings moves through us throughout the day, like a healing river of eternal liquid love. The very second we surrender our hearts to just the idea of an externally loving isness, we immediately find real peace, a sense of bliss, and a feeling of real satisfaction that cannot be compared. Knowing this isness is our basic nature. We start radiating like the sun and start shining our own spiritual essence onto everyone in our lives. The only reason we may not feel, believe, and know that God is right here within the very center of our bodies, souls, and heart right now is because of one thing blocking the way. Our overly busy, demanding, controlling, and desiring mind. As long as the mind is wanting something, willing something, thinking it is lacking something, trying to reach a better place other than the great isness that is here now, we will easily miss our spiritual paths. We will find ourselves living in thoughts about God instead of experiencing the real divinity. If we get too lost in the head, we might end up walking into some highly intellectual, materialistic, and spiritually dry future. The God source is infinitely complex, yet deeply simple. I find that God is actually quite easy to experience. The trick is learning what it takes to fully be here now. To feel the divine isness, we must choose to first begin feeling whatever is up for us in this moment. We must explore, choose to explore how we can let go of the mind and open ourselves up emotionally, feeling everything that is here now. When we call off the mental search, looking for God out there, and simply feel into the core essence of our beings, we find that we have been the ones who are hiding and protecting ourselves from the divine. God has always been here, is always here, radiating within every atom in existence. As we drop deeper beneath the thinking mind and through our blocked emotions, we discover the greatest source of peace, silence, and stillness. This is where God abides. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Perhaps the most radical truth amongst a few that I've discovered about this human existence is this. We humans are either existing in some form of suffering or living in some form of bliss. We are either in one or the other. We are either living up in our heads or we are in the heart of God. Once we quiet the mind and open our heart together, we can live a balanced life in both realms of head and heart. Doing this, we then start merging with the infinite mind of God. If we can remain in this balance 24 hours a day, we will master this lifetime. When we can remain in this balance 24 hours a day, we will master this lifetime. Then every thought we think manifests into forming our living reality. By living in constant emotional connection with the divine from our core, we become a living, bliss-breathing manifestation machine, perpetually creating every beautiful idea we feel and focus upon. There are not many things guaranteed in this life. We all know that. Most of us do. Yet one thing that is 100% guaranteed is this. At some point, we are going to return to God. It will happen either when your body is still alive or when your body stops breathing. Eventually, we will feel intimately connected with God again. So do not worry about when or how. All roads lead back to God. The path ahead and the past behind, each of us both lead back to God. The path ahead and the past behind both lead back to God. God is unavoidable because our past and future are just mental concepts which only exist within this living present moment. The mind alone is always blind to the divine. It is only with a quiet, surrendered mind that we may access an open, receptive heart which can see God in everyone and everything. The mind just doesn't want to realize how ignorant it actually is. It doesn't want to see how powerless, unfulfilled, and trapped it is, as this would cause a huge embarrassment to the ego. When we spiritually wake up, the mind realizes its petty search, and the outer world to find everlasting satisfaction is spiritually fruitless. Only when the mind surrenders to God do we discover what absolute bliss feels like. Otherwise, the mind will continue to persist in its addictive habits of seeking fulfillment in the outer world. It will ignore seeing how true bliss is available here now, as it needs to continue its addictive search for years, decades, and lifetimes. The mind is always trying to get its desires met by people, food, substances, money, ideas, and is in the habit of constantly yearning for something. Yet, as we all know, once the mind gets what it wants, it's happy for a short while, then is back on the hamster wheel again, searching for fulfillment again. The mind is deeply unaware that it can never, ever be truly satisfied. It's good to know that whatever happens in this life, there are no real mistakes. God is an infinitely positive, creative energy. And this fierce force does not know what a mistake is. Every mistake that we perceive to be real or true is simply the mind forming another judgment. There is universal right or wrong book. There is only deeper shades of truth, in which each higher layer only reveals a lighter perspective on our enlightening mission we are here to learn. One of the greatest goals of this life is to find that God, the God source inside us 24 hours a day, to find this, to stay with it, always. This is the only thing which truly satisfies. Everything else fails vastly short. Feeling into our own personal, intimate connection with the divine is the most important thing we can do with our time each day. Everything else we do is going to be the ego seeking some form of gratification, which, of course, will not last. Beware of the ego, as it is easily caught in complaints, negativity, and creative problems that weren't there before. Our only job is to move beyond our egos, transcend our small selves, step into the big self that we truly all are. When we finally surrender to God at the center of our souls, we'll know without a doubt that we have just discovered the most amazing experience of coming home. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies that we are in. Knowing that we are not the body, we are not the name, the character, the personality. We are not the belongings. We are the God within. It's imperative to relax these bodies and to keep them relaxed as much as possible. This keeps us the gateway open to the heart, to the God within us, and through the heart. Now you can use that. You can use the heart to the head, but not the head to the heart. To relax these bodies, we let go, we surrender. Letting go is not difficult. We have a tendency, all of us, to hold on to things, and a lot of the things that we hold on to, we aren't even consciously aware that we're holding on to them because we've carried them for so long. Now you picture most of us on varying degrees with the body. Some of us have one ball and chain on one ankle. Some of us have two. And some of us on top of that will have a yoke on our shoulders. And we drag that through this life. That's why sometimes people they're so drained and they feel, and it's not that they've been doing anything rigorous. They just feel spiritually drained because they feel like they've been just dragging things through life. And the funny thing is they don't know what they are because it's been so long since anybody has visited them. So you start by letting all of that go. Anything you carry from your past slows your future. Anything you carry from your past slows your future. Now, I don't think any of us care to do that. I don't really think that we intend it. I don't believe that we intend it. We do in a way, but it's not like, okay, I'm going to intend this. This civilization has spent hundreds of thousands of years seeking outside of itself. And then we can look all around us without judging. Wow, that was an interesting trip, wasn't it? Now, because of that external world, because of the material physical world, we're coming full circle. So in actuality, it's been a good thing for us. It's helped us, many of us, to come around to the gods that we are. And it's like, picture yourself in a hot air balloon. You're standing in the basket. It's an early morning, beautiful blue skies, a little bit of mist that's starting to burn off. And you see this beautiful, it's a fall sun. And you see the changing colors of the trees. It's just absolutely pristine. And you want to be able to get as high as you can to see all of the beauty. But there's something stopping you, which stops most of it. You look on the bottom of the basket and you see all this ballast. It's bags tied at one end, filled with sand. And this is what keeps the basket down from floating away. Now picture those bags as all of the situations, all of the fears, anxieties, worries, and stresses, hatred and anger, all of it. All of them are labeled. They all have their names on them. Hatred, anger, revenge, greed, envy, hurry, fear. And it's up to you, and you know this. You know it. It's not like you don't know it. Okay, so if it is to be, it is up to me. So I've got to decide to throw this away, to drop it off, to leave it, to once and for all, to get rid of it. And I'm the only one who can do it. So you're looking at all these bags, and you're also looking at how beautiful it'll be to get up there high in the sky and to see all the beauty. And at first it seems like, even though it hasn't been fun at all to carry these things, for how many ever years or lifetimes you've carried them, but now it's time to just drop them off. One at a time, two at a time, three at a time. And then you'll notice that the basket starts going up. And it continues to go up as you keep dropping these things away from you. You surrender them. Don't need them anymore. Might have a little strange feeling because you're so used to carrying them, but that too shall pass. Then you'll soar. Then your body will feel light as a feather. You'll be relaxed. And it'll be a natural relaxation. And you'll be within with the God that you are. And then you'll see all the beauty. As far as you can see with the eyes that you have with that body. You'll feel the breeze on the face. A little bit of a chill. But all the beauty right in front of you. And all that beauty is the God that you are. So as the body just falls into relaxation, you focus on your breath. And our breath is divine positive energy. Our gods, the souls that we are, go into these bodies. We power these bodies up. They function. They breathe. Oxygen. Feel it. Feel the breath. Feel it through the heart-mind. It is one of our deepest, strongest guides. Every time you focus on your breath, easy in through the nose, easy out through the mouth, every time you're in the now. And the now is all we have. Why would you have an answer in the event you were in the now and you practice in the now? Why would you have an answer for someone that would say, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Your answer generically would probably be, I don't see myself anywhere 5 years from now. I see myself right here in the now. And I love it. Because I'm with the God that I am. See, that kind of a statement is ego-driven. Relentless searching, hunting, searching and hunting and searching and hunting and searching and hunting. Never ends. Keeps us distracted, also keeps us away from the gods that we are. So the body, you can relax it so quickly by focusing on your breath. You could be sitting in an easy chair, reading a newspaper. All of a sudden, why am I reading all this stuff? I'm going to visit with the God that I am. I'm going to focus on my breath. I'm going to listen with patience. And I'm going to be at ease. I'm just going to float. All of us will begin to gravitate towards within, not the external entertainment, because we've done that. We've done that so many times, we can't even count how many times and how many lifetimes. Now you know that you're the soul, the God. You also know that you're in that body. So doesn't it make sense that you, the God, would know that body better than anything, anyone, anywhere, any place? Ever, beyond, and forever. And so when you look into your body, the God that you are, you see these lights. And they're really bright, vibrant lights. 7 different colors. And they go from the tailbone to the top of the head. They are called chakras. What is a chakra? Chakra is a wheel. These are wheels of light. They're etheric spiritual energy. So you can't pick them up like a softball and juggle them around. You, the God that you are, all of us, are etheric spiritual energy. We are cosmic blasts of omnipotently powerful energy. And so we flow through those wheels of light. And we know every particle in these bodies. We know every molecule, right down to the quantum quark. We know it all in this body. We know how it functions because we power it. You see how intimately we are aware of these bodies, but we take them for granted because the ego mind directs us constantly outside of ourselves. When someone starts talking about themselves, you ever been in that situation? When someone starts talking about themselves, you almost feel compelled that the ego starts pushing. Oh, tell them things about you. Tell them things about you. It's all ego. See, and then when you're with the God, you identify that. That's ego. And it passes by. No compelling reason to profess anything. Except to myself that I am the God that I am within this body. So time will come for this civilization, in its own way, to discover that it is the power of healing. It'll be able to heal these bodies in a blink of the eye. We know that the soul, the gods that we are, pure consciousness, enters these bodies at a specific time. It's when the mother soul stops powering that body. And you enter that body, and your soul takes over and empowers that body. You also know that we are consciously aware. And what does consciously aware mean? It means that we know through the gods that we are in the heart mind that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. We know this from our very essence. This is consciously aware. So we know that the soul in the body is the heaven, the body is the earth. Heaven on earth. We also know that every step we take on this planet, we're creating paradise. Literally. And we are brightly blasting our God love light energy everywhere, 360 degrees, 24/7, nonstop. You ought to try it sometimes. It's just really a lot of fun. And you do it through the heart mind, and you're just literally blasting your love light energy everywhere. Because in reality, the God that you are is everywhere. Now, sometimes we will learn in these physical forms that when we leave them, when we choose to leave them, because we will end up choosing to leave when we feel we want to leave these bodies. They won't shut down until we want them to. We know we're the light. We are the God force, love, light, energy. This is our essence, not the body. So when we leave the body, we know we are the light. Why would any? And we're totally free. We always have been. As the gods that we are. Go anywhere, incarnate anywhere, any place, do whatever we choose. So why would we follow the light? The light is the trap. Some of us are beginning to understand that. Many more will follow. Now you look at in front of you, and there's three paths. We all have this choice. It's every one of us. On the left side, these are golden, sparkling paths with emerald green grass as the path. And then the trees and everything are all golden and sparkling. I mean, just humming with brilliance. The one on the left seems quite worn. That is the path of the past. The one on the right is the path of the future. And the one in the center is the path of the now. That one doesn't seem it's been used much, and it hasn't been. A lot of us will have reminiscing times, memories, which are really fun. It's part of the joy of this life. And we take them in and we visit them and we go into our private library, the subconscious mind, but then we leave. But some of us don't leave and just perpetually stay there. I don't believe that it's on purpose. I just believe that that's what some people do. They feel more comfortable. And then they end up bringing that past into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future from that past, and they relive that past and that future. This is why a lot of people will say to themselves, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, others of us, now we all visit the past, so none of us are exempt from it. But some take it to extremes. And then we all visit the future. The future's not there because we're creating it in the now. So we visit the future, it's just like this empty room, and we're walking around trying to figure out, when am I going to have this? And, when am I going to have a better job? And when am I going to have enough money to enjoy my life? And when am I not going to feel ill all the time? When am I going to feel healthier? It's always when. But the now is where everything happens. When you're in the now, the chatter is gone, the mind chatter that we all have 24/7. It's gone. You're not entertaining the mind, the ego, or the subconscious mind. You've left them. You left them alone. You're focused on your breath. You're focused on staying in the now, moment to moment. And it eliminates, that's the true freedom, because it eliminates all that external pushing and pulling and dragging the ego mind. And when we all kind of wander off because we have these clouds in the sky, they're programs. The programs are thoughts, and there's tens of millions of them. Now we're focused, right? We're on our breath, and we're in the now. But it's just really strange. And this is where you truly want to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble, and in deep gratitude with yourself. But when you do that and you're aware of it, that's a different thing. And you say, oh, I've wandered off into some thought that's not mine. I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. If you were to take a trip outside the planet's atmosphere, let's say a couple 100 miles above the planet, and you were to look at it, you would see that the entire planet glowed. Not only that, you would look at all the lights in the universe and they would dim in comparison. We are light energy beings. We are divine cosmic energy. We are pure, deep, eternal love. That is what we really are, not these bodies. And more deciding to go within and stay within. That's when everything shifts. If you want to know the great shift is all about, it's about each and every one of us deciding on our own to go within and stay within. That's the great shift. Now we know that we have the parts of us, the gods that we are, not the body, but the gods that we are, parts of us that are asleep. They'll wake up in their own time. The other parts of us are awake. Those are the ones that we concentrate on and interact with. And that's all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And they come into Googleplexes, and one Googleplex fills this entire universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of Googleplexes from trillions of universes. Now, this is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetype. It is the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. This is all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. This is all the off-worlders, celestials, galactics. This is all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Now, light energy beings, on, in, above, and below this, planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, and the different light spectrums of ultraviolet and infrared, we don't see them because of the eyes that we have with these bodies. As a matter of fact, we only see 1% of what is with the eyes that we have with these bodies. But we do interact with parts of them on a daily basis. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, centaur, the minotaur. Could we sustain these bodies without water? A magic. Water's a magic. It's an elemental. No. It's kind of a being. What about air? Could we sustain these bodies without air? No. You see how vital the magics are? A lot of the times we take them for granted. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do. We don't see them, so to speak, like we see each other. Now, they could look like us and walk by us and make a comment. But if you're wandering out into the physical, material world trying to find yourself, then you won't notice them at all. And they deliver a message to us, and they have been for eons. And it has been delivered in so many different ways. And a lot of us, when we meet with them, it's not like when you meet with them, go, hi, how you doing? You're an angel. You'll know it after it comes in. You just know it. It comes from the heart mind. You feel this warm feeling, and you go, that was an angel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a little bliss comes in. Now, the message they have for us is an absolutely magna, glorious, spectacular, stupendous to be alive in these bodies. And that is bliss. Because once you understand that on a day-to-day basis, 24/7, it's magnificent. Because we as gods, when we are not in these bodies or any physical form, we don't taste, we don't smell, we don't see, we don't feel, we don't laugh, we don't cry. You see? Now imagine that. Imagine that so many on this planet are in a hurry to leave the body. What the heck for? It's not like a can of coffee that you can just choose from. There aren't as many of them available as there once was. Every second that we, as the gods that we are in these bodies, always in deep gratitude for everything, good, bad, and indifferent. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in tens of thousands or tens of millions. And the reason is that they can house a large number in a small area because of their vibrational frequency. And if you want them to, all you got to do is ask. And boom, blink of the eye, they'll be there. When tens of thousands, tens of millions. And that is bliss. Now, the ascended masters, they have mastered ascending into physical form, and they've mastered physical form, and ascending out of physical form into pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are mastering physical form, and we are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now, the off-worlders, galactics, the celestials, there's over 1,000 species that travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. Now, we only know a small group of them. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco Reptilian, Golden Pyramid Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, our enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage, and our own self-imposed slavery. And we're all gathered, so to speak, arm in arm, hand in hand, hundreds of millions of numbers that cannot be counted, all focused on this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this and that. It's complete liberation and absolution of all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, inside and out, above and below. And full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, and we're all love, and we're all God. And our God force, love, light, energy isn't all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates deep within each and every one of us, the God force, love, light, energy. And we're flooding this planet, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, nonstop. And what is it? Pure, deep, eternal love. We begin to ascend above the planet, and we're immediately met with a massive ocean of glitter. It is everywhere. It's like a grand finale fireworks, like none of us have ever seen. It is like a massive laser light show and a massive ballroom mirrored globe reflecting all this light everywhere, except 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense, all combined. And it is flickering and darting here and there. It is absolutely magna glorious. And so we're curious, so we view the reflective points. And we get close and we see that these are tiny little microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched. So we choose to enter them, and then we discover that all of us gathered, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are learning and teaching and learning from each other. No matter how life is housed, it is there to teach us. It is there to be. A bird, a tree, a frog, a dog, a cat, a cow, a moose, doesn't matter. They're always teaching us. Have you ever noticed why some animals will just sit and stare? They stare at you. They're just standing there. They're communicating. We choose to house ourselves in any kind of physical form to experience it. That's why. Why do you think there's physical forms? So life can be housed in them. We know when the life leaves it. It's an easy one, isn't it? We know when life leaves physical forms. When a tree falls and drops on its own, we know that the life has left it. That's universal. So just understand that you're learning every single second. You're also teaching every single second. Maybe yourself, others. Never ends. It's just spectacular that we have that with us. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that from head to toe, inside and out, we created to remind us that we are imbued with this white fire armor. Nothing like the armor on this planet, way beyond. This emanates from the God force love light energy within each and every single one of these bodies. And it can't be penetrated. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, no demon possession, no attachments, no seduction, no manipulation, no weakening. It's impervious. We are protected 24/7. Always. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, fear, envy, revenge, hurriedness, anxiety, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, allowing all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there is the possibility of demon possession. attachments. All kinds of interesting things. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. The first part of the column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this column so that we remind ourselves that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame, we can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. We're then met with the other column, the violet ray. We created this column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created that reminds all of us, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the sun, the sunlight. The sun sets and the sun rises, the rain and the rainbows, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the clouds and the sky, the trees and forests and the soils, the mountains, all the animals. We are everything. Everything is us. So the next time you view a sunset or a sunrise or a rainbow or a starry-lit night sky, it is you. You're the beauty, the God that you are. You're the sunset. You're the sunrise. You're the sunlight. You're the sun. The more we begin to understand this, the more we will stay and be with the gods that we are. Not the body, not the material world or the physical world, but the gods that we are. Then everything comes to you. We can continue to ascend above the planet, where immediately some of us decide to step outside our physical form and float effortlessly above it. Why do we do this? Well, because we can, if we're carrying physical form. We're immediately met with a massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than a solar system and beyond. In the center of the column is this oblong sphere. The center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by numerous rings of multicolored light. And they're all sending this massive mist. It looks like a cloud. It moves in every direction. It is sparkling. It looks like there's electrical currents, all kinds of colors that you've never seen before, and a wonderful fragrance. And it comes into us, and it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. And the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And then comes gratitude, peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, well-being, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance. And then we discover that it is us, the gods that we are. It is a reflection. At the top of this crystal light tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down perpetually, 24/7. As it's doing right now. This is pure, deep, eternal love. It is flooding all of us nonstop, head to toe, inside and out. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And all of us are drops of this golden ocean. We also contain its essence. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We all created this sphere, going on 4 years ago. It holds almost 1,700 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Now, these meditations don't wane, they don't drain, they don't weaken. They do the opposite. They intensify and expand. They flood this planet non-stop, eternally, infinity. All of us are being drenched, bathed, showered in these meditations. All of us gathered from all parts of existence, focused on the total liberation of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Complete elimination of all the lower dark veils, all the infestations of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, completely being vaporized by pure, deep, eternal love, the highest vibrational frequency that there is. You want to tap into it. You can go, you can sit, you can be quiet. You focus on your breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and you listen patiently. No expectations, no attachments, and you will experience what it's like to be bathed in these meditations. Do you know why there is so much suffering in this world? Because most everyone is over-identified with their thoughts and wrapped up in the ego. And what is the ego? And it is an illusionary, limited identity. The ego trip gets in the way of knowing yourself to be a divine, flowing source of love, sweetness, and joy. Drop whatever knowledge you have that is causing you to cling to your ego. Stop reaching and start to consciously allow life's natural intelligence and conscious loving energy to flow through you. Because each and every one of us are divine essence itself. I join you in the meditation, return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. No matter how small or stuck you feel, you can always find a way to transcend it. For today, I invite you to dream big. Let yourself explore a new dimension of your greatest power, your imagination. Start with creating a movie image of what you want your life to look like, feel like, sound like, and taste like. And hold that vision all day long. Anytime your mind wanders, return to it. Stick to it like super glue. For this one day, as much as you can, you'll be pleasantly surprised how much you stretch yourself and your mind with this one exercise. Enjoy it. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here Monday, November 29th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.